Math 243. It's good. I had a couple of you guys at 105. Who had 111? Well, pretty recently. Math 111? Only a couple of you. When I say pretty recently, I mean like within the past like 3 years. Oh. Yeah, it's fine. And whatever math you just did in your previous class you did before this, that was more math than you'll do here. To which you just go, wait a minute, you bring much in Math 105. We'll do even less in 243. This is not a math course per se. It's a statistics course. So to think of an analogy, a non-math analogy, that's like Portuguese and Spanish, if that makes sense. Very, very similar, but enough differences to be warranted a different kind of classification. Not a whole lot of math. I'm actually going to make a quiz for you guys for next week, a prerequisite quiz where you can go back and look at some of the math concepts we'll be using, and you're going to be like, whoa, this is like Math 20 stuff. And really, it is. There's not a whole lot of math you need in here. We're gonna lean pretty heavily on technology to do a lot of math for us. We're going to rely pretty much on like basic algebra and arithmetic skills, because that's really all you need. You don't need a crazy bunch of mathematics for the 243 and even 244. It's pretty awesome, actually. I rely a lot more. I rely a lot more on your critical thinking skills, which if you don't have them, you will pretty soon. I just had a student at 244 tell me, thank God, because I can watch the news more intelligently. I don't believe everything somebody tells me. You know, I go to library books that I pick out a book. The book she just said she got was things you don't know about things you don't know, or something like that. And she pulled it up. She's like, this is like half the stuff we talked about in class or related to it. So that's what the class is like. That it's kind of like life math versus engineering math. Please tell me your name.
Candace.
Candace, thank you.
Is there a prerequisite for this course?
Technically, yes. It's Math 105 or Math 111 or instructor approval.
Okay, because the advisors are telling people that if you were pretty strong in Math 95, then you don't really need to.
And I trust them. I trust them if they know you well. Okay. I did the exact same thing when I used to teach 95 an awful lot. Like back in the day when I had time to teach 95. We didn't have so many stat sections, which we do now, which is, I think, a blessing. And I would sit with students and they would tell me, you know, where am I going next? I'm going to 105 or 243. And, you know, it depends. It's not the math skills I'm interested in. Because the math skills we can learn on the fly if we need them. You know, I'm guessing you guys can add, subtract, multiply, divide, take a square root every once in a while if you're feeling saucy. But it's the thinking ability. And if I was in a class with students, I could see that. And sometimes they'd be like, you know what, let's take 105. Because 105 will even bone up even those critical thinking skills even more. I trust your advisors. I mean, I'm sure they know you well enough to make that call.
I don't trust them.
You don't trust them? I'm sorry.
Well, is 243 work for a transfer to AOT? Do you know that?
If you take it within your AOT, absolutely.
So for when it says you need to take a Math 111 or higher,
you're in an AOT degree. Yeah. Check. I just learned that last week.
Awesome. Well, yeah. they give me false information so much, and I find out something.
Here's the problem, Candace. This infuriates me, not you.
No.
You don't infuriate me at all. I'm very happy. This academic dance infuriates me. So a couple of years ago, Math 243. I'm going to take you to my website here and show you some stuff. So this is.
You saw that picture.
I wish I would have looked at that first.
I know.
Oh, that's the first picture I ever took when I started working here like a decade and a half ago. That's why I grew my hair up. The size of that nose. The hair offsets it a little bit. Math 243 and Math 244. I'm going to click out real quick and then click back. Math 243 is now called Probability Statistics 1 or Intro to Prob Stat 1 or something like that. When you registered, that's the course that you had. 2 years ago, it was called Math for the Management, Life, and Social Science. And when I started working here, I'm like, whatever, that's what they call it. CCC, gotta be different. And then 244 was called Intro to Probability and Statistics. And I'm like, that's weird. Why would you call 244 Intro to Prob Stat if it's the second of the two? Because every other school in the state calls 244 Prob Stat 2. So I called all the professors together about 5-6 years ago and I said, what's up with this? Let's put all the topics we teach on the board. And we all did, all 17 schools got together. I think OSU was even there, maybe the main campus or Cascades, I forget. And we put sticky notes up. I gave them, I think it was green and pink sticky notes. And green was 243, and pink was 244. And what we did was we looked at all the data, imagine this, and we decided that, okay, 243 looks like these over here, and 244 looks like this. Let's just all call it that. Well, that was great for everybody except OSU. They said, well, you've now taken a section out of 243. We can't call it Math for Management, Life, and Social Science anymore, which FYI is Math 245 at the main campus. We got to now call it a stat course. It's no longer a math course. And I'm like, whatever. But this problem is a direct descendant of that. If you take 243 in the AAOT, it's fine because it checks the AAOT and OSU accepts it. If you don't take the AAOT degree, they will not accept it as a math course. It's a stat course. Make sense?
No, I'll probably know more when
it doesn't make sense. But as long as you're in an AAOT degree, you're safe. As long as you're in an AA or an ASOT degree, it transfers as a math course. Why? I don't know, because they say it doesn't count here, but it doesn't count here. I don't get that. But at the break, when we have a break, if you guys are concerned, we can pull your transcript and we can look. I honestly, it's such, I feel like I've created this monster by sending this through curriculum and getting it okayed all the way along, and then all of a sudden it's done. It's like, by the way, we're pissed now. So I'll have to look at your degree if you want to.
It feels like part of it is that whole tracks thing that they're using now, that it seems like
that's just
it seems like they're using the computer instead of their smarts to advise people now, and so it kind of like.
And be careful of the garage tracks. I mean, you want to
reserve statement on that one, please.
So if we were going to take a different type of degree, would we need the 245 then?
The 245 is like business, certain business degrees. An AG degree, I believe, is a 245. It's a very specific course for very specific degrees. And your advisor should tell you about that, because I think that's pretty well squared away now. What was happening was students were double dipping with 243. Because it was called Math for the Management, Life, and Social Science, they were getting double credit. They were getting a 243 and a 245 credit, which seems weird because there was only one topic different between the two of them, but for some reason they were getting checked off. That's what I changed, because I was like, that's stupid. That's not, those are different courses and these are the same courses. And that's what curriculum and the other 17 schools agreed with me with. So just check your, I would say whatever grad tracks, whatever you're using. But we can chit chat about advising as we go through if you guys are concerned about it. Generally, you don't need 245. 245 is a very, very, it used to be that every student in this room was a business student. Where are my business students? Right, 4 of you. 5 of you, right? That's not a majority anymore. It's now a minority. And if you look at the OSU, you guys OSU Cascades, I'm assuming you're going to Cascades, 245 isn't on that checklist. It hasn't been for years, won't be as far as I can tell. So what is 245 for? I don't really know. Certain business degrees at the main campus, an AG degree maybe, I'm not even sure who's taking it. See what I'm getting at? I don't know. That doesn't mean they won't change their mind, but it means I don't know and it's not that prevalent, which is why I changed it in the first place. Cool? Set anybody first thing. Anyway, don't worry, Candace, we got you covered. All right, so here we are in 243, the course that used to be named stupidly and is now named more appropriately. So that's the website right there. I want to spend 2/3 of the day getting through this website, making sure you understand how things work in the course. And then as time we have left, I've got a little critical thinking kind of activity for us to kind of walk through to have you guys, again, to learn how to think this way. Kind of like some continuation of 105 in a little bit. And also kind of, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out together. So here's all my information, my number, my email, Grandview Hall up the hill a little bit. Is where my office is. I don't have very many office hours on Tuesday, Thursday. They're at the bottom down here. I apologize. That's usually when meetings and kid pickups happen. So the only thing I can squeeze in this term is a Tuesday 3 to 4 right now, which blows, but that's what I'm saddled with as far as Tuesday. Wednesday and Monday I got more time in the immediate afternoon. If these don't work for you, and honestly for most students they don't, you can just email me and we can probably get any question that you've got needed to get discussed done via email. Seems to work great. Even math questions, and there's not much math in this course, but even math questions work great via email. So just fire me a note and get back to me. Everything's on this page that you need up top. I apologize for this block of text in the middle here. It's supposed to be a table with borders, and the borders aren't showing for some reason. I try to code in HTML because I'm old and I learned how to code in the 90s, but it's not showing up for whatever reason. So it's a little confusing. Here's you guys. Here we are. That's your CRM. Here's our class meetings. Tuesday, Thursday, 10:15 to 12. There's supposed to be a divider line right there. But 243, the important thing is that link right there, the course information link. That's what I want to spend time today going through. Course information. That's the syllabus, if you will. So I can't make this page look very pretty. I've kind of given up trying because depending on what machine I'm on, it looks different depending on my work computer versus this computer. There's things that are bolded that aren't bolded. So I've given up on this page. And instead, boom, I want you out to this page, which I have a little more control over, which is also why it looks like 1996. So anyway, it gets the job done. It's got everything you need, not a whole lot else that you need besides that. So this is just basic stuff as far as quick introduction. I use the bright yellow to draw your attention over there because that's where the important stuff is. And we're going to go through each of these links today. But honestly, the majority of what you're going to need is this very first link here, the schedule. It's where I kind of keep everything posted so you know when things are due, what we've done in class, where I'll post the videos and such. So let's go ahead and explore that. I'm going to start and stop the video. I try